Well, welcome to Duke basketball. I hope the holiday season has been a great one for you and your families. Uh, I know our kids were able to go home for 3 days. However, when we came back, uh, we had uh, just an amazing number of people in our program who were tested positive for the virus, and obviously we're taking the proper steps necessary to come back. All our guys are good. It's more what you would call uh, asymptomatic, and hopefully we'll get going this next week. Uh, the two games, Clemson and Notre Dame, will hopefully be rescheduled, and we get back on the court. Our guys are anxious. They're coming off of a great win against Virginia Tech, and now we got to get in shape. One thing about being out, you don't practice at all, and so making sure that we come back in good shape is a big thing. We're going to do something a little bit different today. Uh, we've been all very fortunate. I know I have for 42 years to be in Cameron Indoor Stadium, and it's really one of the special venues in the world for sport. And we wanted to share with you a number of the great moments as we celebrate Cameron Indoor Stadium. Hope you enjoy them.
There it is. Banks gets off the shot.
It's in.
The basket is good. We'll go to overtime.
Unbelievable.
Cameron is unique, and there are no gradations of unique. There's nowhere like it, anywhere.
Made them both. Duke equals their largest lead at 22. Now a steal. Zion! Spinning his way to hammer it home!
Sometimes you try to make comparisons to say, Cameron's the Wrigley Field of college basketball or something like that.
McCants, he'll stop, toss the ball, they scramble for it. J.J. Redick calls timeout with 4.4 seconds left. Duke with the basketball and a three-point lead.
There are so few places that are in its class. Cameron is on the top tier of not just basketball venues, but of sports venues.
Hands it back around to Allen. They double him up outside. He's going to take it down the lane, in the air, shoves it up. Got it at the buzzer. The Blue Devils win it, 63-62.
You ask any sports fan where they want to see a game, any sport, and Cameron is on the top tier.
Dockery dribbles, shoots, scores! Sean Dockery has hit a mid-court jumper to win this ball game, 77-75.
To have played here every day, practice, shooting free throws, your games, who can be lucky?
Harsh rebounds to Capel with 2 seconds. Capel lets fly. Holy cow, we got double overtime. This place is pandemonium.
The initial rush of when you come out on the court and you feel the crowd. Not so much that, so they give you a big hand and that, but that's not it. It's like you feel the spirit of Cameron. And I really like that a lot. It gets me, I'm prepared for the game. I do my preparation, but once you feel the spirit in Cameron, it heightens your preparation. It puts you in a better place. I feel like I'm the luckiest coach on this planet to be able to coach in Cameron Indoor Stadium with our students, the crowd, the mystique, the excitement, the decibel level.
For me, the moments are when the roof is going to explode, where Cameron shakes.
Blocked by Carey on the way back up. Moore headed the other way. Lobs it to Stanley! Oh! Punch it down for two!
And you're just there and you feel it and you say, oh my God, this is so good. And those are the moments, more so than a sign or anything like that. And
I envy my players. You know, I wish as a player I would have had the opportunity to wear a Duke uniform and go on the court, feel the rush of a warm-up and feel the rush of a run, you know, when we get on runs.
Drives inside, all the way to the bucket, got airborne, tough shot, couldn't hit. Bagley there to dunk it home. 59-55, this is a 12-0 run for Duke, and Florida State wants a timeout.
You know, when I got the charge, you know, it was so loud, it was like energy was flowing right through my body, and just, it was a great feeling.
And how loud it gets and how intimate the support is for our team.
Duke All Access is brought to you by Gatorade. Greatness starts with G. By Continental Tire, proud supporter of Duke Blue Devils basketball. And by Coke Zero Sugar, best Coke ever.
Wow, this new Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Is it the best Coke ever? No! Yes! No! Yes! No! Yes!
Okay, I'm gonna try it first.
Yes! I need to try it first.
You're made to move. And now it's time to get things done. You're in the driver's seat, chasing green lights and open roads. And you know those roads like the back of your hand. You're shaped by where you've been, but you're always looking forward with confidence. Continental Tire, for what you do.
I need to try it first.
Heart-stopping moments deserve heartfelt jewelry from Reed's. Our exclusive Love's Path collection features paths of gold merging around a center diamond, symbolic of how two lives join together to find adventure, understanding, and love. Our exclusive Roberta Z collection is a reflection of our founder, Roberta Zimmer, and mirrors the qualities we admire in the women around us. With Reed's exclusive jewelry collections, we have the perfect gift for each moment and milestone.
It's bow time. If the workday's over but your family's hunger is gearing up for the night shift, drop a big bow box on it. Cause with 12 Supremes, biscuits, fixins, and tea, you can clock out and still enjoy a delicious dinner. It's bow time.
Fuel your grind with Gatorade's proven formula. And the right blend of electrolytes to help you on your journey to greatness.
The Cameron Crazies are rocking, and that can mean only one thing. It's time for Duke basketball. Is there a tougher home court advantage in all of college hoops?
The loudest moment that I can remember in Cameron was my junior year. We beat North Carolina by 1 point, and it was down to the wire. We made a great defensive play. They dribbled the ball out of bounds, and after shaking hands, first of all, the place erupted. Then after shaking hands, as we were headed back to the locker room, there was a bunch of students up on the, I guess, the media scoreboard, that sideline area, chanting our house, and it'll stick with me forever.
My favorite Cameron memory has to be we played Carolina. I think it was 2011, at home, and like I said, that's the game we made this big comeback in the second half. And I think I was at the free throw line one time. Somebody got an and one or something, and I could really see the backboard shaking and the ground shaking, and it's the loudest I'd ever heard in the gym. So that's a memory that I always have, and you always hear stories about Cameron shaking and not being able to hear yourself talk, but that was really a real moment that I was able to experience it.
I mean, it's tight, everybody's packed in there, everybody's, you know, screaming and yelling and bouncing up and down and being creative with the cheers. But it's just the intimacy of that place that I don't think there's any other place that has that.
I'd say after playing in most gyms, college and professional, nothing really compares to Cameron. You know, it's just the intensity of each game, especially ACC games. Obviously, Carolina game is at another level, but you know, I can't say that anywhere else really compares to that, just because you know, it's just special. It's you know, something I miss, you know, because Tuesday night games in certain cities aren't as fun as coming in here on a Tuesday night, and while the whole country's watching you. So, you know, it's definitely something that I miss.
My favorite Cameron indoor moment, we were down, I think, 20-something points versus NC State, and it might be one of our largest comebacks, I think, in the history here at Duke. And the crowd was just, they continued to cheer us on, and we just started, you know, we started getting it rolling. And right when we got to that 5-point deficit, where we were right there to take the lead, I've never heard that place so loud. I mean, they were in there just screaming. That was my favorite moment. We came back, we won the game. It was a big comeback win for us, and that was my favorite moment as far as just the atmosphere there.
For me, I jumped center, so I was in the center circle all the time, and to feel that madness around you, man. Like, I still remember, I'm getting goosebumps now just telling you, man. But I remember the air moving, because those kids are just going ballistic and bonkers, and I've got to be able to focus on the time of the jump and who's in front of me, where's the ref coming in, and all I could ever remember from that moment is just the overwhelming feeling like I am not alone. It is going to be all of us against who we're facing today. Pretty cool, man. That's why you come to places like this.
I try to explain to people that there are 3 levels of intensity in the crowd at Cameron. There's non-conference games, there are conference games, and then there's Carolina. And it really is different for all 3, but at a very high level.
Cameron is just straight history. You know, I think the best thing that Cameron brings is, you know, how many greats have been there before you. It's kind of like when you step into Madison Square Garden, you know, this isn't just a basketball arena or a gym, it's something different, and that's how you feel when you step in the Cameron.
When I was Division II coach, we came over and played Duke, and our guys were just awestruck. There's a picture of one of our guys taking the ball out on the sideline, and there's like 1,000 hands, and he, you know, and I talked to him after the game about that picture. He said, "Coach, I was so nervous." He said, I never experienced anything like that. And to this day, that kid talks about, I mean, some of those kids talk about that experience at Duke.
A lot of the arenas that we played in on the road are gone now. So since I've been playing, and they've stepped it up to the big arenas. So again, there's just a handful of arenas left in the country that just got that kind of tradition and that mystique about them, and you know, it's really nice to be a part of that.
Arenas don't compare to Cameron because of how into the game the fans are. You don't have sections of the crowd that are disinterested. Everybody's locked in, hanging on every play, and you realize that as a player, it makes it a special environment. And I have so many great memories from Cameron. Probably my favorite was my senior year when Ohio State came in and they were ranked 4th. I think we were ranked in the top 5 as well, and Cameron was just unreal that night.
But I think the loudest it got was when we beat Carolina at home, and I think it'd been a streak where we had lost 6 or so games in a row to Carolina over, you know, 3 or 4 year span, and we had them at home, and it was a tight game, and I remember a play where Jeff Capel penetrated and hit me on the right wing and hit a big 3 to put it from, I think, 2 to 5, and kind of within under a minute, and kind of seal the game a little bit. And you know, don't even remember, can't remember how I thought, or couldn't hear anything, couldn't hear myself think. It was just so loud that it was just almost silent. It was that crazy. It was just kind of one noise and something you just really can't replicate.
When I come back now, come back during my NBA career, come back, recently now that I'm retired, it's still that same sense of awe when you walk in. And it's like, wow, I can't believe I got to play here. Like it's a whole new appreciation for it where, now you have perspective and you really see things and you notice the energy and the passion even more so, and you're more appreciative. And so every time I go in Cameron, whether it's packed and everybody's going crazy or I walk in, I'm the only person in the gym, there's something about it that just charges me up and just gets me like I feel good once I leave Cameron, once I leave Duke. And it's I guess magical is the only way to really describe it. You have to experience it, you have to see it when it's at its best. And there's no other place that is as good as Cameron.
Now a steal. It's Zion. The lob off the backboard to Barrett to throw it down. And Cameron's alive with 2:25 to go. Just soak it in. It's a 31-point lead.
I know the car accident wasn't technically your fault.
But we,
as the insurance company,
deny this claim.
We might fix your car.
But medical bills?
Pain and suffering?
Lost wages?
You're asking for a lot.
Oh, you've got a lawyer.
This conversation is over.
Tell the insurance company you mean business. Call on the Hurt Line, the law offices of James Scott Farron, right now.
It's the final days of the Ford Get Holiday Ready sales event. Your last chance to get the best deals of the year on Ford F-Series, America's #1 selling trucks for 44 years straight. Only a few more days to save on our full lineup of Ford SUVs. Hurry in, it's the final days of the Ford Get Holiday Ready sales event. Now get 0 for 72 plus up to $500 bonus cash on a 2021 Ford F-150. New inventory is arriving daily, so see your Carolina Ford dealer today.
Heart-stopping moments deserve heartfelt jewelry from Reed's. Our exclusive Love's Path collection features paths of gold merging around a center diamond, symbolic of how two lives join together to find adventure, understanding, and love. Our exclusive Roberta Z collection is a reflection of our founder, Roberta Zimmer, and mirrors the qualities we admire in the women around us. With Reed's exclusive jewelry collections, we have the perfect gift for each moment and milestone.
Wow, this new Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Is it the best Coke ever?
No!
Yes!
No!
Yes!
No!
Yes!
Okay, I'm gonna try first.
Yes!
I need to try it first. It's bow time. If the workday's over but your family's hunger is gearing up for the night shift, drop a big bow box on it. Cause with 12 Supremes, biscuits, fixins, and tea, you can clock out and still enjoy a delicious dinner. It's bow time.
Comes around to
Vintage Duke.
Tatum makes a shot, dives down inside, dunks it right open.
I was privileged to be the coach when we went from Duke Indoor Stadium to Cameron Indoor Stadium. It was January of 1972. They came in here with 6 NBA players ranked 3rd in the country, and we were hanging around. We were a little over 500. We never finished out of the first division, but we were struggling. And it meant a lot to me because Eddie Cameron brought me here twice. Once as a freshman coach at Vic Bubas' recommendation, and then he brought me back later as head coach after Vic Bubas had gone to 3 Final Fours in 4 years. So Eddie Cameron was a handshake guy. No contract, he was a handshake guy. And the day that we honored him by naming this building for him meant a lot to me. And a guy named Robbie West hit one with 6 seconds to go that enabled us to make that day memorable. I would not have wanted to answer questions over the next 30 years. Weren't you the coach the day that Cameron was named and you lost to Carolina? No, thank you. We won.
You know, Coach came up with a few options, for us as we brought the ball down the court. And fortunately, I was in a position that Gary Melchione passed me the ball, I believe sort of at the top of the key, and went up with the jump shot and it was in. So pretty exciting moment for me and for the team and for Duke. After the shot, there was still probably 7 or 8 seconds left, but at the end of the game, I just remember the crowd pouring onto the court, and you know, I mean, there was just such an adrenaline rush to beat Carolina because they were ranked so high in the country at that point. And, you know, you don't remember a lot until you're in the locker room and, you know, all of a sudden the net's around my head, down by my neck, and I'm going, wow, you know, we won this game, and, you know, I sank the shot that won the game. So it was, you know, it's an exciting moment in my career.
Duke Basketball 360 with Chris Spatola, presented by Continental Tire, proud supporter of Duke Blue Devils basketball.
There have been a lot of what Coach K dubs vintage Cameron moments over the years, a lot of them. And I was thinking back to one when I was on staff here still in 2010. It was the season finale here in Cameron against the University of North Carolina. And we had a team that started 3 seniors and 2 juniors, a team that had the big 3, John Shire, Nolan Smith, and Kyle Singler. And it was not your typical vintage Cameron moment. We actually ended up beating North Carolina by quite a bit. We were up 27 at the half, as a matter of fact. But it was the atmosphere pregame. The crowd was louder than usual, more fired up, lathered than they typically are for a Carolina game. And it was probably that group. There was something special about that team, and it really manifested itself in that game. The big 3 was huge. Lance Thomas, Brian Zubek were monsters inside. Miles Plumlee actually capped the game off towards the end with a hellacious alley-oop. And then, of course, after the game, that seniors typically speak, and Lance Thomas said something to the students that as a coaching staff, we were kind of saying, what is he doing? Why is he saying this? He said, this team has a lot more to accomplish this year. That group ended up going on to win the ACC tournament and, of course, the national championship. But I'll never forget that moment in Cameron that night in 2010 to finish off the regular season, a vintage Cameron moment.
A vintage Cameron day or night contest usually means a big-time opponent. Not to knock any of our opponents, but a big-time opponent would be a conference game or from a power conference. There's a certain level of intensity, anticipation. The crowd anticipates, you know, they become more one with the game. It's really so unique, and I've seen it it started in the 80s for me, when I started feeling that with that 86 team, and that you anticipated in your preparation. And then when I walk out on the court, I say, okay, we're on. You know, when they, you know, just before the national anthem, when the music's going and the crowd's into it, and you say, and you look at the other team and their faces and our kids' faces and say, okay, for the next couple hours, this is going to be high level, and then you want to be in that moment, and then how you can respond instinctively to what your team needs during that time.
Fuel your grind with Gatorade's proven formula and the right blend of electrolytes to help you on your journey to greatness.
You're made to move. And now it's time to get things done. You're in the driver's seat, chasing green lights and open roads. And you know those roads like the back of your hand. You're shaped by where you've been, but you're always looking forward with confidence. Continental Tire, for what you do.
It's the final days of the Ford Get Holiday Ready sales event. Your last chance to get the best deals of the year on Ford F-Series, America's #1 selling trucks for 44 years straight. Only a few more days to save on our full lineup of Ford SUVs. Hurry in, it's the final days of the Ford Get Holiday Ready sales event. Now get 0 for 72 plus up to $500 bonus cash on a 2021 Ford F-150. New inventory is arriving daily, so see your Carolina Ford dealer today.
I need to try it first.
Coach K's legacy moments.
Mike Krzyzewski celebrated his 500th win as Duke's coach when the Blue Devils defeated Villanova at Cameron Indoor Stadium in November of 2000. Coach K was then surprised after the game when a special ceremony was held on the floor, forever naming the fabled Cameron Hardwood in his honor as Coach K Court.
Basically, I've been able to, if it was a restaurant, I've been able to eat in a very unique, nostalgic, special place for 31 years. And then the restaurant changed its name and put the 4 in my name. So how good, it can't get any better than that.
Well, I hope you enjoyed all those moments. Wow. Cameron, when you walk out for a game, it's just a special feeling. And when your team is making a run, it sounds as if the roof is going to come off. But a couple of moments I'd like to share with you that we didn't show, and I'm not really going to show them. I'll just tell you about them. Is when it's late at night and the times I've walked in there and there's no one else in, and the lights are on, the national championship banners, and I get chills right now thinking of it because it's a special feeling. It's like a field of dreams, and you wonder if you should get out of there because the basketball gods have a scrimmage a little bit later that night. And it's that type of place, and those are moments that I never thought I would experience as a coach, and I've got to experience not just the live moments, but those quiet moments that this special place has given all of us, and especially me. So I hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll get back next week and hopefully have some games to talk about. And we're anxious to get back on the court. And Happy New Year.